So maybe follow me on this. Hi, Magdi. How you
Hey,
doing, man?
Bill. Good to see you, Bill.
Good to see you too. Um, as you were talking about this wanting approval, wanting love during your talk, it struck me that there's these two premises. One is I need your approval, and the other is I am the body. But it's just to pause and look at that. It's pretty clear that despite their conviction of those two things, it's pretty clear that the body doesn't need approval. The body needs oxygen, salmon, and broccoli, right?
Right.
Doesn't need approval. So you could say, well, no, I want you to think that I'm pretty,
Hmm.
or I want you to notice that I've lost 5 pounds, That's not the body. That's not the body. That's thought. So
It's identification.
it's
It's not,
identification with the body,
yeah. And then
right?
it expresses itself in thought, or it appears, there is an appearance of a thought, gee, I want you to notice that I lost 10 pounds. But it's the identification that's behind the.
And but body doesn't care.
uh, to talk about the body caring or not caring is like it's like talking about I don't know, a stone singing, or it doesn't apply. The body caring or not caring is not doesn't apply. The caring and the not caring is always refers to the self, to me. So as consciousness, as presence, as reality, as being, we care and we don't care about everything because everything is a self. Everything is I. So caring or not caring really doesn't apply to reality, to being. But when there is identification, I am the body, as you said, Bill, a minute ago, I am the body, then the I that has somehow identified itself with the body is playing the game of I am the body and I care, I want you to upload to me. And if you don't upload to me, I am going to get upset. So I really care for your applause, for example. It's this game of identification. But what's really beautiful about this whole process is that it can be seen. We can come to an understanding about, oh, I am the body is a certain choice I'm making. I am Magdi, I am this and that, blah, blah, blah. And as a result of that choice, I have limited myself to that Magdi character, whichever way it's defined in whichever way I define it in my memory, in my thoughts, in my sensations, in my beliefs, whichever way I define it. And as a result of limiting myself via identification to be Magdi, I am no longer I'm no longer being, universal being or impersonal being. I am separate from you, and I want you to like me, for example, or whatever I want. I don't know, whatever I choose to want.
So who or what is it that is wanting or not wanting these things?
I, I as consciousness is the only game in town. I am choosing that. I as one reality. There is only one I. That I has no name, no age, no gender, no form.
But that's not
Brahman,
partial. But
Brahman.
that's not partial.
No, that's not partial, but it plays the game of partiality. So there is Brahman
Oh,
and there is creation. So there is creativity arises out of the source, and then there is identification, meaning, of course, there is labeling, which is not a problem, the conceptual realm, which is useful, but then there is identification. I am, this is my turf, this is me, and this is not me. All of that is the play of the only player, the play of consciousness. So imagine there is a marionette player and all sorts of characters, and the marionette player is has created these different marionettes. Bill, Magdi, Julie, whoever, has created these characters, and he's playing the game of, oh, do you like me? Yeah, I like you. Yeah, I lost 5 pounds. Oh, how wonderful. Gee, damn, I should lose 10 pounds. I haven't lost 10 pounds. Blah, blah. And if we don't understand the game, if we don't see it, if we don't feel into it and sense it and see it and realize it, we're very upset because we only lost 5 pounds. We wanted to lose 10, and we lost 5 pounds and nobody noticed at the office. You know what I mean? What's the point? My God, I've been dieting for a month. We get upset. And we spread the disease because upsetness is not personal. It's everybody in the office gets a little upset too somehow. They sense it's contagious. Like the peace is contagious too. So in the background of our experience, there is this sense of me, sort of, and it comes from the background into the foreground when it's triggered, when something in the experience, in the field of perception, uh, triggers it.
so I noticed this yesterday. I was looking at this need for worthiness, need for approval, my own and the others. And what I noticed is that I don't want to be a jerk. So you say to me, Bill, you're being a jerk. Bill, you're a jerk, you know? And then like, no, 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 no. And I'm gonna argue with you. Here's why I'm not a jerk, you know? And it's painful when I argue that.
Yeah.
And then I noticed I found this out at work that because in my job, I had this obligation to be professional, to be worthy. So when I would sit for examinations each year, there was this pressure to show up as somebody honorable, somebody responsible. But you're being examined and you don't know everything. So, so Bill, tell me about this. How does this system work? Tell me about the speeds over here. And it's like, oh, I don't know. Like, am, am I am I going to be revealed to be a jerk? Am I going to be the jerk instead of the honorable one?
Hmm.
And then it was almost like a trick, but it just really was stunning. At some point, I I realized I wasn't going to play the game. It just occurred spontaneously that it was okay to be the jerk. So they would say, "Bill, what's this speed?" And I the thing would come up like, "Oh, I'm about to be a jerk," and because I didn't know the answer, and then I would say, "I don't know.
Hmm. Yeah.
I don't know." And there was like a death of the honorable one. There was like an assumption of becoming the clown, becoming the jerk. It's like, okay, I didn't actually think the words like, "Oh, I'm a jerk now," but it's just more like, I don't know. And in that was this such like such an undefended relief. It's just like, oh, I don't know,
Right. Right.
I don't know.
Yeah.
So, how would you understand that in the context of our conversation?
I think there are, situations where, like the one you're describing, where to a certain extent you need to have done your studies and make sure, that you have a certain degree of competence and knowledge of the job, so that in the examination, not just in the examination, so that you can you have the skills to do the job. So it's important to take that seriously, which I know you do. I know you for many years. Uh, but yeah, what you're pointing at is something else, which is this inner self-judgment, this inner mechanism of, me. I need to present myself as an image. Now you're talking about it as an image that is shining enough that people will sort of, bow to you and say, yes, you are that great one, yes, and all of that is happening within you, you know. Uh, and it's a self-judgment. It's a self-inflicted unhappiness, and it's beautiful when you sort of see it and sort of say, okay, well, wait a minute. I look at the question and I freaking don't know. So I don't know. And it's a sincerity, a truth, a honesty in that, and the simplicity, and a certain freedom that people love. People love. We love those principles. We love the principles of honesty, simplicity, clarity, truthfulness. It relaxes us. Oh, shit, he doesn't know. So I'm okay. I can also not know. You're giving me the freedom I also can not know and say, I don't know. You know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah, it's permission.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
It's funny you say that because this is exactly what happened. This is how I discovered it. I remember now is that I was with a number of examiners and the guys and I was doing something wrong. And the guy said, "Oh, just stop everything here. Let's stop." He's playing the heavy. Let's stop this. Bill, what is dance? What is the right speed here? And I said, "Wow, I haven't. I don't know what that is." I said, I don't know." And then all of a sudden, somebody said, "Cool." And I turned around. And I said, "What?" The guy said, "That's, that was really cool." I said, "What was?" He goes, "I never heard anybody say that before."
Right, right.
And I was like, "Holy shit. Like, here's the
Yeah.
keys to the kingdom, you
Yeah.
know?"
Yeah. Yeah, right. There's a certain freedom, and you're trusting the freedom. You're trusting the honesty. You're trusting truth, right? I mean, you're being truthful, so you're trusting. Yeah, this is my truth. That's a good thing to trust, rather than trusting deceit or trusting fear or trusting, you know, self-judgment. It's all an inner process, right? And to see that. Wait a minute. I mean, what am I doing? What am I doing to myself and to others? What am I doing?
Well, can we say then that there's less identification, or it's certainly less identification with something in particular, but is it less identification altogether?
In that moment, it is. In that moment, it's a moment of freedom, a moment of you're stepping into the light. So, I mean, can we say there's therefore less freedom, more freedom and so on? Let's, okay, yes, no, whatever. But in that moment, yeah, it's a beautiful, it's a stepping in the right direction, stepping in the right shoes. It's yeah, the right choice. And we get immediate rewards. We get rewards. There is an inner relaxation in that moment. And usually, maybe immediately or maybe not so immediately, the universe responds. We say, oh, like this guy saying, cool. Yeah, that's the universe responding.
Mhm.
Uh, sometimes you don't get an immediate response, but maybe down the road, you realize, oh, that was the right direction. I somehow the message came to me not to operate from fear, not to operate from worry, not to operate from concern. Uh, yeah, so
So as I channeled that story that I just related, it occurs to me that it came as a relief. It comes as a relief, and we're all familiar with that. Coming clean sensation, just the well being of that. And it what strikes me is that my pain in life is coming from bracing. It's not coming from the situation. I think like, oh, this is a tough situation, and I'm so nervous and I'm so angry or whatever I am.
mm,
It's not the situation. It's that I'm bracing in the situation, and it's my bracing that's causing my agony. Because once I accept it, once I'm once I'm okay with the situation, then I'm not in agony. It's amazing, isn't it?
right. Yeah, I mean we brace in order to um, protect and defend, justify or maintain the safe me or my personal identity. Um, and when we relax the bracing in that moment we are relaxing our identity. You're saying, oh, okay, uh, at that moment I'm not defending, I'm not justifying, I'm not blaming. Let's just let's see what happens. So in that moment, not just the relaxation of the bracing is felt within the body, this unknotting of the knot or relaxation of the knot of the contraction. But also in that moment, we're also uh, that bubble machine that I use in the meditation, the identification, the belief structure behind the scene is also slightly poked at. It's weakened also. So it works on both levels. The level of immediate relaxation or release when you unbrace or debrace of the experience of more, oh, you know, release, but also the you're not feeling because that me structure needs the bracing. It's fortified. It's maintained by the bracing. So it's like both we're at the emotional level, we're opening, relaxing, feeling, as opposed to bracing. And at the same time, there is an openness in our being, as opposed to an identification. At that moment, we are not knowing beingness, not knowing presence, Not knowing meaning not identified. And is is something that we choose. We choose not to brace in that moment or to relax the bracing. We say, okay, no to contraction, no to defending, no to just saying. You have to, of course, see it. You have to see that, well, that's what I'm doing. I want the world to be my way. Good luck with that. What could be like a worse self-torture than wanting things to be your way? It's just it's an inner flagellation. It's an inner punishment, right? So you see that, say, oh, goodness, I want her to be this way. And she's like absolutely herself, or he's completely, absolutely himself, doing whatever he's doing and perceiving what he's perceiving. But somehow I want him to sing that tune, to appear that way. And I'm hurt when he or she doesn't. It's not meeting, it's not fulfilling me. I have inner conditions about my inner fulfillment. I have inner conditions about fulfillment. Why? What sort of game is that? Who's playing it? You are. I am. And I have images about myself. I am this or that, and things should be like this and like that for me, you know, for me to be happy, to be a better me, or to be, I don't know, to have a better future, or to have a, I don't know, more something. It's not relaxing. It's not a relaxation. It's not the flow. It's not smooth. It's not suave. It's not tranquilo. It's complex. And then becomes a habit. It's a habit. Oh, this is not appearing there. This is not making me happy. That's not making me happy. Oh, this is good. Oh, this is bad. It becomes like a, so we need to slow down and see it and say, wait a minute, who's going to change? Who's going to make the changes? Who's going to decide how to be in this moment? I. And how to be in this moment. Just it's being is. Relax the whole thing about how to. And listen, follow. There's, there is a bell that rings and it's a fire bell. So you rush out, you know. There is a thought that appears to you, want to invite people to dinner, my friends to dinner. Yeah. You perceive, you reflect upon what you're perceiving, and you act from a place of peace and freedom, joy, celebration. It's a process. I'm not trying to describe a nirvana, you know. I'm just saying there's that aspect of life where we are doing this sort of work, you know. I mean, you're very familiar with that work. I know we've talked so many times about this. Yeah, this is